a brand new day. Hey, hey, hey.
Welcome back to Marbella Now. My name is Nicole King and I'm so excited that this week we're recording our program from El Casco Antiguo, the old town in Marbella. Coming up to Feria next week, there couldn't be a more typical place to celebrate, particularly as the celebrations are coming back into the heart of the town. So we'll get the opportunity to see all the ladies dressed up in typical dress and be part of that Feria. We won't have a program next week, but this week we'll be giving you all the information you need to make sure that you are part of it. If you've never been to the old town, it's got so many centuries of history. The Arabs, the Romans, the Christians and all the culture centered here in the heart of the old town of Marbella, with its lovely side streets, restaurants, churches, museums, boutiques. It's certainly well worth your visit. We're recording this week's program from what used to be the Pozo Viejo, the old well of Marbella, now called the Farm. So let's start this week's program.
Hey, hey, it's a brand new day. Hey, 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 it's a brand new day. Halfway twisted, you've been out of shape, and you feel like you've missed it. Dropped out the race, and as time flies by, you'll open up your eyes wide.
The first time I met the owners of the farm, then the Pozo Viejo, was nearly 2 years ago when I first started the radio. They have come, as has this place, a long way since then. Maria, Elio, thank you for letting us record this week's program from such a beautiful hidden treasure. I'll start with ladies first. Maria, thank you so much for your hospitality. It's hard to see behind that door that this beautiful patio and this beautiful restaurant is even in here. It's such a hidden treasure.
Yeah, thank you. It's yeah, for us it was a big surprise when we discovered it. We just fell in love. And since then, 2 years ago, we started to work and to do it even more beautiful. And I always like when people come by the door and they have the same face I had 2 years ago, not this surprise when they discovered this.
Yeah, because from outside it looks like a tasca, like a little bar, and then you come in and there's a restaurant, and then you come into the most glorious patio, which has so much history, right, Elio? This was the first mayor's home house, and the only water supply from your pozo, the well.
Or the main water supply, at least it was giving water to all the neighbors around. And that was the name of the restaurant, so actually it's still there with the water inside. And basically this house attached to the next door house was the mayor's house, and then was split it into families and so on. So yeah, it's a big part of Marbella and everybody knows it for a long time. It was also a legendary restaurant when Marbella started to have all these VIPs and celebrities coming on, so it was one of the few restaurants in town. And then we came, it was a little bit
run down.
Yeah, run down. And we took it up by doing organic food, creating more an innovative menu, much shorter. We believe that less is more. So we only give a few options, and we change it more often. So we follow the seasons with the vegetables and the meats. Now we have meat from the north, which has no antibiotics, the natural feeding. The fish is wild. Everything is natural. So good, healthy, and
hence accessible. The change of name from the Pozo Viejo to the farm to represent this new identity.
Yeah, exactly. The idea was to let people eat in the center of the town as if they were out in what they call in Spain La Venta, for example, which is basically a restaurant next to a farm. So they collect whatever they have from the farm and serve it to the table. So that's what we are doing. We are in contact with the ecologic cooperative in Coín, Guadalhorce, Familia Villa, different people that is working on getting organic stuff all around Marbella. And luckily there is a lot of movement about that. We have also organic cheeses, organic beer, organic wines. organic milk, organic coffee, and the biggest impact is that we have removed artificial drinks like, sorry to say the name, but Sprite, Coca-Cola, Fanta. We only do natural juices and our own homemade lemonade, our own iced tea, and people love it.
Well, it is an amazing concept, and Maria, although, which is wonderful as well, is you're making everything local, so you're supporting local businesses as well as everything else, but you two are far from local. Where have you come from, Maria, before you got to Marbella?
I am from the north of Spain, Asturias, and we have been traveling many years all around, and we just were looking for a beautiful little place to settle down.
And when did the us come about? Where did you meet Elio?
We met in Barcelona 5 years ago now.
A true love story.
Yeah.
So where are you from, Elio?
I'm from Argentina, from the Patagonia, and I'm an actual farmer because I was living in a farm of 5 hectares in Argentina with apple trees. So I always been in contact with nature, and I did my high school in
agriculture.
Agriculture, yeah. And yeah,
so you
then
really know
also
what you're doing.
Yeah, very
Unlike
much.
many people who have restaurants, at least you have an idea. This area is ideal for all kinds of events, weddings, celebrations, just to come and eat. But also you put on some amazing parties, Maria.
Yeah, we are. I think we are good organizing and helping people having fun. So this place, I think, is perfect for this. So we usually do celebration, business events, and pre-wedding, a lot of pre-wedding. Now we are starting with also small little weddings, and we have nice artists and musicians that collaborate with us, and we do nice big events. Yeah,
It's a lot of fun. It's an amazing place. Everyone who comes in is just blown away of how beautiful it is. So don't get put off by that door upstairs looking like it's going nowhere. It goes everywhere. What would you like to say to our viewers? What would be your welcoming wish for them to come and see the farm?
Well, I think what we stand out from the rest, because there's a lot of good restaurants in Marbella, and there's a lot of restaurants, is that we have created our own slogan, which is honest food. Which is gathering of different concepts that we all follow and we believe on, which is kilometer zero. So products that are grown or produced nearby. Slow food. So we make everything homemade here. We don't buy anything already done. Like the juices, we also make here. So basically, we try to do everything we can by ourselves. So it's really an experience that you cannot do in your own home, because it will take so much work and it takes so much work for us. So basically that's the biggest attraction. It's simple food, it's tasty food, it's healthy food, and it's honest.
Well, it's lovely to be with you. No hidden ingredients, everything is natural and a lot of fun. Maria and Elio are waiting to welcome you here at the farm, and it's just wonderful to be recording the program for here. Can't wait to taste everything. Thanks guys, best of luck.
You're welcome. And don't miss the Feria, it's going to be really fun here.
Yes, right, because everything sometimes goes on, and we're right in the heart of where people will be walking around in traditional dress, and so you're going doing something special for Feria?
Yeah, it's going to be the whole week having live music from 2 till 8, so the whole day, and it's going to be really fun.
Well, this is definitely one of the spots to pop in during Feria. Thank you so much. A big ole to that.
Ole.
Hey, hey, it's a brand new day. Hey, 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 it's a brand new day. Halfway twisted, you've been out of shape, and you feel like you've missed it. You dropped out.
A very good evening and welcome back to the Legal Beagle slot on Me Marbella. I'm sat here at the farm, my new favourite courtyard in Marbella, and in this cool shade I'm drinking a rather nice fruit drink, and I'm here to talk to you about Spanish mortgages. Now, the first thing to remember about Spanish mortgages when you're looking to buy a property this summer is that they're written in Spanish, which for many people is a bit confusing to say the least. There are a huge amount of people that come over here who don't understand Spanish, don't understand the Spanish banking system, and don't understand the mortgage system. And it's vitally important that you have a few handy hints just so you can navigate your way round. The number one point about Spanish mortgages is that they're written in Spanish. I'm not saying that to be divisive. I'm saying that because it's very, very important that you get that document translated into your own language so you totally understand it. If you're committing yourself to 20, 25 years worth of payments on a sum of money back to a bank, it's vitally important that you know every single bit of that document inside out. Spanish mortgage rates are low, or the interest on mortgage rates are low. That's because a lot of them track the Euribor. But in the past few years, there have been certain issues with the Euribor tracking mortgages, such as the cláusula suelo, which is an interest floor clause. An interest floor clause works like this. There's no cap on the upper amount of interest you pay. So if the Euribor, the interbank daily borrowing rate in Europe, goes up, you will continue to pay whatever level it requires you to pay. But if it goes down to around 0.2, 0.3, which it's at the moment, the banks had built in a clever little 3% over the top of that to ensure that they were always sneaking a tiny profit from it. In the Supreme Court in Spain last August, they declared this to be illegal, and many people are claiming now 15,000 to 20,000 euros back on their mortgage that they've overspent because of this extra 3% they were forced to pay. The point with that was, if it wasn't explained to you properly, you shouldn't have been paying it, and it was null and void. If it was explained to you properly, then that's your problem, which leads us on to the next step. When you sign a mortgage, you will be encouraged by the bank to go to a notary. That notary's job is to totally explain to you and answer any questions that you might have about the contents of that mortgage. Do not be forced into signing a document quickly. Do not be forced into using a notary that you don't know or don't like. Here's a trick that not many people know, is that you can choose the notary that you go to. You don't necessarily have to go to the bank's notary. And if you know a notary, or you have some friends that have had a good experience with a notary, that's the person to go to, because you want to get this explained to you as well as is humanly possible. Now, the next problem a lot of people have had in the past 10 to 15 years in Spain is what happens if you cannot pay your mortgage. The first thing to do in this situation, like anything, is to immediately talk to the bank. There is no use burying your head in the sand like a lot of people do, thinking, well, by the end of the month I'll have the money in my bank to pay the mortgage. No, you need to talk to the bank immediately. And you need to make sure that if the bank don't speak your language, you go in with somebody who speaks Spanish, either your lawyer or somebody, some trusted advisor that speaks Spanish, knows the important language that you're going to need, and can actually get your questions across to the bank. There are options. You could set a longer term on your mortgage. You could get a short term with no payments whatsoever, i.e. a payment break. All of these are down to the bank, but it's well worth asking. You could perhaps ask for an interest just to pay the interest for a short time while you get yourself back on your feet. Or finally, the bank could find someone who could take the property back from you, or who might be prepared to buy the property from you. The other option, which is something rather unique to Spain, is to dación el pago, and that's to give the keys back. If your property is in negative equity, and if you're unable to afford the payments on it, there are in some circumstances the possibilities to give the keys back to the bank. It is, however, only when you are in negative equity, so you need to talk to the bank about this and make sure. Spanish mortgages, to sum up, are very difficult. There have been a lot of problems with them, and if you type in on Google or any of the usual search engines, you'll find a lot of horror stories about these. These horror stories can be easily avoided by making sure, number one, you get the document translated, number two, you deal with a proper notary, and number three, if you don't understand something, you ask questions. Pushing everything on for a week does not matter if you understand it. It may well delay things somewhat, but it's most important that you understand, if you're going to be paying money for 20 years back to a bank, exactly what you're getting yourself in for. Have a great weekend, and we'll be back next week with some more Legal Beagle news. Take care.
Joining us now is a lovely young lady whose name is Milagros Iglesias, a very Spanish name. which is actually French. Ooh la la, bienvenue, Milagros.
Merci.
Ça va?
Merci. Oui, ça va très bien. Merci.
It just sounds so good in French. Doesn't matter what you say. It's just so sexy. So what brings you to Marbella, Milagros?
Apart from the weather, I think it's very dynamic, and I love the atmosphere. It's very multicultural. So for a photographer like I am, it's very necessary to be able to mix with different culture, and I think this is what Marbella offers as being an international place for everybody who wants to enjoy.
Your name is very Spanish, but when you talk, I mean, it just oozes France. How did you get a name like Milagros Iglesias and be so French?
My parents are Spanish, but I was born in Paris, so therefore my French accent is very strong. Either I speak in English or either I speak in Spanish. This is me, this is me.
Well, you're just enchantée. You're absolutely gorgeous. And you take amazing photographs.
Thank you.
You see things, obviously, in a different way to the rest of us. And you, not only that, you capture it on camera. When did this passion for photography start?
When I was young first, but I developed it 7 years ago, and I learned with different photographers through my experience living in Paris, in London, in Vietnam as well. And I had that chance to develop something which is very unique, emotional, very passionate, and this is what I try to transmit with my pictures.
When you walk around, particularly in a place like here, the farm, the old town, it's just so enchanting, so much history. Is that what inspires you to take photographs, or is it the people milling around those streets?
You're absolutely right, it's both. In fact, I like taking emotion through the people, but you can, in this place, which is absolutely amazing, and the colors and the variety of the walls, and it's just impressive for a photographer, because you can play with every corner of this place and take, even through the flowers, lots of emotion, and it's very interesting.
The amount of Andalusia that you actually get in this tiny little area of the old town is unique in itself, and it's funny how many people don't actually come to the old town, particularly some of the English. They only go to Puerto Banús and they don't know this exists, but here it's just timeless. How do you capture time on camera?
It's a good question. It depends, first of all, of the time of the day, first of all, and it's something you have to be very patient when you are a photographer. You can sit for hours in a place just to capture the right light at the right position in the right spot, which make my work very. It's like, you know, like a story you have to work, but to work that story you have to know who will be the characters, what you are going to include in the composition. It's quite, I like it. I like the way you can take a picture of just a flower and then suddenly it's something, wow, it's impressive when you look at it.
Your photographs, who are they for? Do you take them for yourself? Do you take them for the people who are looking at them? When you take that photograph, where's your mind at?
I'll take the picture for myself first, because I can be like a photographer, a selfish photographer, you will say, but mainly for the people I take pictures of. I try to freeze a special moment, a special emotion, a special feeling on a special day, which make that picture a very nice and unique souvenir for the person I've been taking pictures of.
How do you do exhibitions to show your works?
Yes, I'm going to do one actually in Paris at the end of this year, and the theme is abandon, and I'm going to work with a painter as well, so it's a big exhibition of painting and photography. So I'm very pleased, I'm very excited, and I'm working on it just now.
Will you be exhibiting here locally in Marbella?
I would love to exhibit in Marbella.
Okay, we've got a gallery. This lady's up for an exhibition.
Yes, I would love to, but I think I need to show more of my work, more my personal work. So it's something that I'm working on it.
Can people contact you to take photographs for them? For example, I know that you take photographs with Javier.
Yes.
And so this is possible as well. What
Yeah,
can people
exactly.
say? Milagros, we'd like you to take photographs of our event, wedding. Tell us what kind of things you like to help with.
I'm taking pictures of events, portrait. I love taking pictures of portrait, but just now I've been asked to take pictures of lands. and houses. So when you put all your emotion and all your love, you can take beautiful pictures, whether it's an individual or whether it's, like a villa, for example.
So completely adaptable to absolutely everything.
yes.
How long have you been in Marbella?
7 months.
So you're a newbie?
Yes.
Brand new, 7 months. Pues milagros, bienvenue.
Thank you.
Just
Thank you so much,
delightful
Nicole.
to meet you. She's a really charming lady,
you.
and I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot of you around
Thank you so much.
Marbella.
Thank you.
Hey, hey.
We've come to Puro Beach this morning to meet this lovely young lady who is a bikini and bathing suit designer, no less. Hello, Love Laura.
Hello.
So,
Hola.
it's great because no one really comes and speaks Spanish here. So, welcome. You've come just for a couple of days to promote this fabulous range of bathing suits and bikinis.
Yeah, we're here for the weekend. We go home tomorrow though, unfortunately.
It's a big shame, but we can still get your bathing suits even though you leave. Do you sell online? What's the system?
Yeah, we sell online, so it's www.love-laura.com. We've got all the social media, Instagram, Facebook, we've got a blog, everything, yeah. So it's under Love Laura Swimwear for the Instagram and the Twitter.
Wonderful. And how did you get this idea? When did this all start?
So I started designing at a young age. I was 7 when my nana bought me my first sewing machine. I used to crochet with her, and that's where the love for fashion started. And then I carried it on as I grew up. I went to university, college and everything. I struggled with a bit of health at one point in life, so it was a bit of a getaway for me. Just a little safe haven really to get away from everything that wasn't going so good in my life, which was not so bad though. But last year I went travelling, and then I actually made this bikini while I was travelling, the capri. Come home, went to a girls' holiday, all the girls were saying, oh, you should take it to market, it's fabulous. I'd never done swimwear before though, so it was all pretty new to me. And yeah, so I've just ran with it since then. I'm on board with Kate and Sean. They're helping with the marketing and sourcing and everything. But so we've got a nice little team.
It's wonderful. Watching you talk about your project, you can see the love and the excitement. One thing excites me is because although you're very young, you're taking into consideration all bodies of all shapes and sizes and ages, and you're using a very new special material. So we can all, well, maybe not look as good as you, but we can all make the best of what we have.
Yeah, so our fabric's Beta. It's a new swimwear fabric. It's won all of awards for being the best swimwear fabric. We've doubled up our fabric so it pulls you in a bit more, gives you more support. It kind of feels like a second skin, so it's not more of the skimpy bikini fabric that you don't feel secure in. This is going to make you feel confident, and we don't discriminate to age as long as you're comfortable in your own skin, and you're happy enough to wear the designs, then yeah, go for it.
You've got these wonderful little details on the bikinis, and at first thought it's like, oh my god, they must burn like crazy in this Marbella sun, but again, special materials.
So the eyelets, actually funnel eyelets, and they're nickel-free, rust-free, heat-proof, which we've had specially made. We actually go to the same manufacturer as Versace for them, which is quite exciting. Kind of feel like we're high-end with them, but yeah, so there's no issues within water or the heat.
It's fabulous. It is a high-range brand. You are for the Puro Beaches, the Puente Romanos, the Marbella clubs. This is your market, the Nikki Beach Ocean clubs. Do you have visions to see if you can get your garments in there so we can get them all the time?
It would be amazing. It would be. That's our aim, to go, as far as we can. And it is a high-end brand because our materials and fabrics and everything that we use, they are quite of a high quality. The designs, we have no stitching on show, so everything's bagged out through a centimetre hole. I mean, unless you know how to sew, you probably don't understand the term of that, but everything's made to a high standard, and that's why we make in the manufacturing in the UK, because I'm able to work on hand in the factories and keep an eye on everything that's going on, making sure that everything's how I want it to be, which is perfect, whereas if we were overseas, we couldn't have that control of it.
Well, it makes a lot of sense, and it really is absolutely delightful. You also do a man's short as well. We haven't seen that today.
We do, and we've got an absolutely gorgeous model on board, Alex Cannon. He's a local celebrity back at home. He's our male model, and Alex has actually co-designed the men's range with me. We've got men's shorts out at the minute, and we're just finishing off the t-shirts, and we've got towels and bags and everything to come with it.
I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of the range. Also, you are very into designing, but you've called all the different bathing suits like Capri, and we've got even a Marbella model, and you even did the own design for the print of that.
I did, yeah. It took me so long to design the print because I used so many different things, so it took a few weeks really to find something that I quite liked. Because the other bikinis are more of a statement and they're quite unique, I wanted the Marbella and the Miami to have like more of a soft, girly approach, so the print's quite delicate. But yeah, it took a while to get to it.
Well, it's very impressive. What are your plans for the future? What's your immediate plans? What would you like to see happen?
So at the moment we're looking at different swimwear shows to get involved with, so we're hoping to go to Miami swimwear show. There's another swimwear show in June in Ibiza. And basically we just want to get the brand out there and do as many as we can. Yeah.
Have you been? You got the Capri model, the Marbella model, the Ibiza model. Have you been to all those places?
I have, yes.
And so you feel actually inspired by the place with your creation?
Yeah. I mean, while I was travelling last year, there was a lot of places that inspired me, but the names of them I didn't really quite fancy for the swimwear. But yeah, we chose our favourite locations between us when we were deciding on the designs.
Well, I'm very honoured. We're all honoured that Marbella was amongst those designs. And when are you coming back next time?
Hopefully very soon.
Well, we hope so too. Laura, love Laura. We do love Laura. Thank you so much for coming and chatting with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely, our pleasure. Big smile for the camera, so those beautiful blue eyes. Say hi, Marbella now.
Hola.
Hey.
Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? No, this is not a Shakespeare performance. We're standing at this beautiful balcony inside the farm, this wonderful place that we're recording our program from today. You have to come and see it. It's just enchanting. Anyway, I hope to enchant you with some information about how to keep safe on our roads. Tourism is way up, and you've already seen that there's a lot more traffic on the roads, and people are going so fast. Every time I go back to the studios or I go somewhere, you see tourists running across the road, not on even the crossroads or on the zebra crossings or the crosswalks, whatever you want to call them. Please be careful. When 80-kilometer speed limit reduces to 60, it's for a reason, normally because it's more built up. When you're going to the airport, to the station, just going across the 27 kilometers of Marbella, those speed limits are there because it's a very built up area, even though it's a straight road. So please pay attention to the speed limit. And what's more, please keep a safe distance between the car in front of you. Just yesterday, driving along the road in the Golden Mile, there were two cars very close to each other. The first one pulled out suddenly because there were 3 cyclists in a group. Obviously the car behind was so close it had no sight of the cyclist, and a nasty accident was avoided, but not really, it was very close. So please, this week, all I'm going to ask you is, if you're a pedestrian, cross where you've got a good viewpoint, keep yourselves safe and visible, and for you motorists, keep to the speed limits, and that way we can all have a fabulous holiday. As expats living in Marbella, we're very lucky to be able to count on all the comforts of home. In fact, we tend to look to home when there's anything important that needs resolving. But when it comes to car insurance and you're driving in Spain, perhaps you're better served to look towards a reputable Spanish company like Línea Directa, because that way you know you're covered according to the local legal Spanish laws at the same time as they're catering to our specific expat needs. Now, as a Spanish company, this means they have a fleet of tow trucks, specialised garages to take the car, mechanics, hotels, lawyers, everything to make sure you're covered when you need it most. All documentation is in English. Their website is in English. All phone calls and communication is in English. So they speak your language and understand as well all our needs. To rest assured that you truly are insured when you need it most, why don't you contact Línea Directa, either on their website from www.lineadirecta.com or by ringing 952 14 78 34. That's 952 14 78 34.
Hi, I'm Anita from the House Hairdressing in Alveria. We have got a great team of people that would love to see you come into the salon and we can pamper you. Just come down for a complimentary consultation. We'd love to see you there.
Now this looks like a very interesting situation, property investment opportunities in Spain. Have you heard anything?
Well, my real estate agent is Kristina Szekely.
When Kristina Szekely talks, people listen. Kristina Szekely, Sotheby's International Realty. Call us on 952-81-40-40 and visit us frontline, Puerto Banús, in front of the yachts.
So you're a business on the Costa del Sol, and you know the best way to reach customers is through word of mouth. But how can you reach more people to grow your business even faster? Before you spend a lot of money on advertising that may never reach your customers, find out how MarbellaFamilyFun.com can help spread the word about your business today. MarbellaFamilyFun.com.
Kristina Szekely's been away for a few weeks. In fact, last week we heard about her trip to Las Vegas. But we've had a lot of feedback of people wanting to keep looking inside the amazing homes here on the Costa del Sol. So we will be back with Kristina showing us some of the fabulous houses that are on offer and why certain areas are better than others and how to make those specific investments, because we're all different. Our needs are all different.
I think that it's not just which areas are better, which areas suits you better. I think that's the most important, because it's, you know, somebody can say, well, I love Sierra Blanca because it just is fantastic, it has the best views, it's close to town. Or somebody may say, oh, I love Elio because my kids go to school there. So people's ideas of good and best and size. I think the most interesting is size. When people talk about, oh, I have a really big apartment, and it may be 100 meters. So everybody's mind, they have the vision is completely different depending on their own lifestyle. What is their dreams? What can be within their dreams, the possibilities to fit them? Where, you know, some people love being frontline beach because they have kids, and the beaches on the east side are more like the Caribbean, not quite, but a little bit. And the beaches on the other side are good, but not as good. So, but people may think, well, my kids play in the sun, and that's a nice way of bringing them up free. You know, you don't have to worry about anything. And I think you just have to try and analyze, and that's what I'm good at, to try and analyze what is that would suit that person best. What is the investment value that would be the best one for them? And a lot of them say, I'm not buying it just for the investment. I'm buying it because we want a home. But ultimately, I think you need to have the idea of the investment in case something changes in your life and you want to sell, and it needs to be able to be sold not on a long term. So
yeah, as I say, we sometimes don't take into consideration that children grow, you don't need such a big space, and before you know it, you want to downsize, or if you're starting a family, you need to, what's this new word we've got? Upsize. So it depends on everything, what you need. And it's always good to get good advice by an expert, because as Kristina says, it depends on what you need and your short, long-term views as to where you should be buying.
And it's not only that, different nationalities have different needs, have different ideas. The people from the Middle East, they have certain style in general. You can never generalize, but on the whole. The Americans, they love large rooms. So when you're with somebody, because I speak many languages as well, I tend to get into that person and find out what is it that they really want. And that's what we go for.
Hi, June is a wonderful month here in Marbella. There's always so much happening. One of the best months to enjoy the beach and catch up on some sun and get some colour before the sun gets far too hot. You have the Feria, you have concerts, you have festivals, and don't forget to get your tickets for the large concerts that are taking place in July and August. All the information is on the site and they will be going fast. So what's coming up over the next week? The first one I have for you, last week we mentioned Rally Scooterista, and I did say that I'd give you a little bit more information. Now it started today and finishes on Sunday the 5th. Now you can pop out after the show. You'll still have time to catch the opening party in the Old Town of Marbella. Now this is right by the walls, the castle walls, opposite the Encarnacion Church in the big plaza behind Orange Square. And you'll enjoy a concert by the Oddballs. And the party continues when this finishes about midnight at Gasolina in the Marbella port. That's the second line of the port. On Saturday, you can watch the scooter run going to Puerto Banús, where they stop, and you'll enjoy an exhibition of the scooters there in the Plaza Antonio Banderas before they continue up to Benavides. Then you can enjoy the Jungle Jumpers in concert at the scooter bar in the Puerto Deportivo in Marbella from 5 o'clock. And on Sunday they will finish up in the marina, again at the same bar, and you can enjoy paella and snacks there also. So quite a fun day, and it's interesting to see the Vespers and Lambrettas. Now also last week we mentioned the San Pedro Dance Festival. That also started today and finishes tomorrow. 3 stages have been set up in San Pedro. One in the Plaza de Istan, one in the Plaza de la Iglesia, one in the Plaza Juan Marquez. So there's 3 stages there, and there will be nearly 30 different countries, actually different academies within those countries doing all sorts of different dance. So it really is quite professional. So go along and enjoy that, and there's a big party in the municipal tent afterwards. So to start the Feria off, because this is the big one, of course, coming up next week, there are 2 events before the actual start of Feria. The first one being the Liga de San Bernabé, which takes place on Saturday at 6 o'clock. Now this is from the restaurant Santiago on the Paseo Maritimo. So if you go down the Avenida del Mar, that's the Dali statue walk, down the steps at the end and turn right, that first restaurant is Restaurante Santiago. Now they will leave from there, and as always this draws quite a large crowd because it is a big run, so do enjoy, because the runners do need your support, so go along and give them a cheer. The other one that starts off the Feria, of course, is the Romeria or pilgrimage. They leave the chapel at 9 o'clock on Sunday, so you will be woken up by the loud bangs, which of course are rockets or cohetas, which accompany all the pilgrimage. Not a favourite of all the dogs in town. But anyway, once they arrive at the Pina de Nagueles, there will be lots of activities taking place there for children and for adults, and from midday onwards. So anyone who does want to walk along with this procession up to the Pina de Nagueles is very welcome. Now the Feria is nearly upon us, one of my favourite times of the year, especially as it's back in town, about time too. So the festivities start on the evening of Monday the 6th of June with the opening ceremony and the lighting of the fairground, the night fairground that is. The inauguration on the terraces of the marina in the centre of Marbella is around about 9 o'clock in the evening, and the fireworks to music will start approximately at 11 o'clock in the evening from the Playa del Faro, which is right next door to the terraces there. Now, as I said, great news, because it's finally back in the centre of town, and all the entertainment during the day will be in the Parque Alameda. That's the big park in the centre of town with the huge fountain, and also the Plaza del Mar, which leads off the back of that with all the Dali statues in there. The night fair will continue with all the rides and things like that, and the concerts with the auditorium in the same place as last year, up next door to La Cañada, which is a temporary ground. Now the day fair starts from 1 o'clock every single day with all the bars and the casetas, which of course are the big white tents, with all various different entertainment. Every afternoon from about 5 o'clock till 8 o'clock, there's a stage been erected right near the Freedom statue, right at the end of the Avenida del Mar, and there'll be all sorts of different dancing academies with totally different dances every single day. So do go along and enjoy that, because that really gives you the atmosphere of Feria. The night fair opens every evening from 7 o'clock. There are lots of concerts and shows in the auditorium up there, so do check out the site for information. Those of you with children will be particularly interested in Wednesday the 8th, when you have the Grand Fiesta for children up at the auditorium. The entry there is free, with free cake and drinks for all the kiddies attending, and lots of entertainment. And also it's Kids' Day at the fair, so of course the rides are all very reduced. Andalucía Sueña is again at the Plaza de los Toros, at the Plaza de Toros in Marbella, and on Thursday the 9th at 7 o'clock. This is a wonderful and very, very popular equestrian show with flamenco music as well. To see the horses dance to that is quite something. You really must go. It's a must for all ages. Tickets are available up to 1 hour before the performance at the ticket office at the plaza. So it's a busy, busy feria. We've put the full itinerary on the site for you with all the information that you will need, so you don't miss out on anything. Enjoy the atmosphere of our feria this year, as it hasn't been in the main centre of town for a long, long time. So that's all for this week, and because there's no show over the feria period, if you want to find out anything that's happening, we will be continuing to update the site, even though we'll be busy enjoying feria. So do go along and check MarbellaAzul.com, and have a fabulous weekend.
Hey, hey, it's a brand new day.
My friend from school, Javier Trier, grew up and joined his father's law firm, well-established Trier in Gibraltar, and now have opened up offices a few years ago in Marbella. We actually went to visit the offices in one of the Marbella Nows quite a few months ago, but joining us again this afternoon is Nicolas. Hi.
Hi, nice to meet you,
It's
Nicole,
nice to
once
have
again.
you joining us here in the Potterfair. Isn't it a beautiful place here?
Yeah, very beautiful restaurant, yeah, really nice.
It really is so cool. Now called The Farm, all healthy foods. Well, Nicolas has come to join us because it's nice to meet the different law firms and different people that make up Marbella. Nicolas, you're originally from Argentina?
Yes, right, I'm originally from Argentina. I graduated law in Argentina and then I qualified as a lawyer here in Spain too.
And how long have you been here?
I've been living here for 4 years already, here in Spain. Started in Madrid and now down here in Marbella.
They're very different, isn't it? The mentality of being in Madrid that's so Spanish, and then you come to Marbella, such an international community.
Yes, it is. I mean, I was living before also in UK, so I get more familiar with an international environment, really. Yeah.
You're telling me that today you're quite excited because there's a new change in the law that is actually going to make banks responsible for something which is very rare, few and far between. And not only responsible, but with retrospect, and in fact they're going back to cover people who bought properties off plan in the past. Tell us a bit what's going on.
Well, yes, as I was explaining to you before, now there are a lot of British buyers, and not only from UK and also from North European, that back in 2002, 2007, 2008, they bought properties off plan. And as I said, they were doing payments, okay, to the banks that were working with the developers. Then those developers went into bankruptcy, liquidation, or they just disappeared. Now the Supreme Court, there is a very new precedent that basically allows buyers to claim directly from the banks for all the money that they anticipate for buying those properties, that probably they were never built, and if they were built, they were not finished. So yes, that's basically, we are getting loads of inquiries right now from people who wants to get their money back.
And it sounds absolutely amazing because it's actually Marbella became famous and other coastal areas of people developing properties, selling them before they were built, just off the plans, and hence the off-plan properties. And then the banks were meant to have protected those deposits and they didn't. And that is why they are now having to pay for that.
Exactly. The banks should have a duty of care, and that's what the Supreme Court says. And they never comply with that duty of care, so now that's why they are responsible for that money.
Who was the person who instigated this? Because a lot of years have gone by, and it's wonderful that actually someone must have instigated this, to look at this, to actually get this initiative put through. It's wonderful.
Yes, this started in 2013, and we got now repetitive precedent from the Supreme Court just saying the same, 2014, 2015, and now 2016.
So if anyone actually bought a property, lost it because the developer went bankrupt, and thought that the money was gone forever, this is now not the case, and they should contact their lawyer or TRIAs to follow this up.
Exactly, and do a formal claim, and basically also this is an execution proceeding they will follow before Marbella, Estepona or San Roque court. It's not very fast, but depending on the court, but that's the procedure to follow, yeah, and to do a proper claim.
And even if it takes a long time, you at least need to start. You've got to actually start the steps and then...
Yes, and also you're not going to claim only for the payment you done initially, and also for the legal interest that you lost.
It seems quite untrue, actually, that the banks could be made to be responsible for something, because until now it seems that they have the best of all worlds. Nicolas, you obviously enjoy the law, you enjoy what you do. What's the difference you see from, for example, working in Madrid or working here in Argentina? Is it the law varies a lot from the different places?
Well, I always work in the property. It is different. Obviously, when I was working in UK and Spain, most of the legislation is European legislation, most of it. So I'm quite familiar. But between Spain and Argentina, as we have the same Code of Napoleon, it is also similar law. It does change between UK and Spain, obviously, because you got common law and then the civil code, which is totally different mentality.
I love the way he talks about the law and he's smiling. Someone who actually enjoys what they do. Nicolas, thank you for taking a few moments to chat with us.
And thank you very much for inviting us again.
No, it's a pleasure. Trie and Nicolas. Great representation.
Buenos dias and welcome to this week's Simple Spanish. So today we're recording from this gorgeous restaurant, The Farm in Marbella. And if you haven't been, you should definitely come and visit this place, it's gorgeous. So today we're gonna learn 2 ways of asking somebody, what is this? Or if there's a word you're looking for in Spanish, you don't know it, you can ask, what is this called in Spanish? So the first question we're gonna learn is, what is this? It's very good if you are in a restaurant, for example. Somebody has just served the food and you're not quite sure, was this really what I ordered? So you can point and ask, ¿qué es esto? Or if you walk into a shop and you have no idea what this specialty, the Spanish specialty is, you can point, ¿qué es esto? So let's do a few examples here today. So for example, if I didn't know the name of this fruit, I could ask, ¿qué es esto? And the very simple response would be, es una piña. And let's do one more. So another one could be, if I didn't know what tomatoes were called, it could be, ¿qué es esto? Es un tomate, would the response be. So, and the second question we're going to go through is, if, for example, you don't know a word in Spanish, or maybe you've forgotten what it's called. You could be in a Spanish class and you want to ask, how do I say this word in Spanish? Then a very easy way to ask the question, what is this called in Spanish, would be, ¿cómo se dice tomato en español? Or ¿cómo se dice pineapple in Spanish, en español? So today we learned 2 questions. The first one was, what is this in Spanish? It is, ¿qué es esto? And the second question was, what is this called in Spanish? and you would say, ¿Cómo se dice tomato in español? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hasta luego.
Hey, hey, it's a brand new day. Hey, 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 it's a brand new day. Halfway twisted, you've been out of shape, and you feel like you've missed it. Dropped out the race, and as time flies by, you'll open up your eyes wide. You feel it's gonna go your way.
Good afternoon, here we are again. Today I have what we call here in Spain a PPS, which is a dog that they call a dangerous dog. We do get them in at AAA several times a year. They're called pit bulls, Staffordshires. There's a whole list of dangerous dogs listed in Spain. Really, they're not very dangerous unless they are being treated not well. So I brought a little one, is Szekely, and he's only 2 months old. It's a pit bull. He was found at Cabo Pino just last week. He's 2 months old and absolutely trainable. The thing with dangerous dogs here in Spain is that you do have to have a license, which you get at the town hall, to be able to have a dog like this. Also, they will ask you to have an insurance. Pit bulls and dangerous dogs, when you walk them, and they're very large, you'd have to have a muzzle and they have to be on the leash. Other than that, they're just absolutely wonderful, and they're not dangerous at all. If you treat them well, they will treat you well, and they will treat everybody else well. So this little one is for adoption right now. We have several other ones, adult ones, bigger ones, smaller ones, available at AAA. So if you are interested in a beautiful dog, you can come and have a look at them and hopefully adopt them. The other thing I want to talk about today, of course, is our big annual event, which is this Sunday on the 5th of June. We will be walking dogs. You can walk your own dog, or you can reserve a dog from AAA and walk with a dog. It's on the Paseo Maritimo. We start at 10 o'clock at Terra Sana restaurant. We will have a breakfast there and a drink and juice and coffee, whatever you want. You can inscribe there. It's $10 per dog or per person. You'll get a t-shirt, a scarf for the dog, some goodies and treats as well. Please come and join us and walk for AAA. Show your support and show Marbella what a beautiful dogs AAA has in their refuge center. One of them is this little one. So please come and join us Sunday morning, 10 o'clock, Plaza del Mar, restaurant Terra Sana, and walk with us over the Paseo. It's only about an hour walk or something, but it'll be a lot of fun, a lot of dogs, a lot of nice people, and a lot of joy. So hopefully we'll see you on Sunday morning. Thank you. Until next week.
Hey, hey, it's a brand new day. Hey, 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 it's a brand new day. Halfway twisted, you've been out of shape, and you feel like you've missed it. Dropped out the race, and as time flies by, you'll open up your eyes wide. You feel it's gonna go your way. Hey, hey, it's a brand new.
We're always saying about the amazing bargains that you can pick up in the second-hand shops we have in Marbella. And if you come to the charity shops, then you're really doing a good deed as well, as does Eileen. Hi, Eileen.
Hello there.
One of the people who help out at the Butterfly Children's charity shops. with all this amazing stuff. And when you come to moments like now in Feria, what better place to come than to find yourself something to fit in with all the celebrations. Now, you'll be amazed to know that a dress like the one I'm wearing goes from like 15 euros. And I've been looking through all of these amazing creations and the work, and they're 20 euros. So this is something to take into consideration when you go shopping. The wonderful rich people who live here, they give some great donations. Eileen, how's the shop going, this new one in the Old Town?
Yes, very well. It's going well.
You're in Calle Caballeros, which is a little bit further back, just off the Orange Square.
We're a little bit hidden behind Orange Square, but it's very easy to get to from the chemist up the narrow road going up the way, and the first on your left.
That's exactly what Lily told us. She said, don't worry, it's easy. Go to Orange Square, see the chemist, go up the little road and to the left, and
that's it.
And here we have
and asking
another
anybody
shop.
in the other shops around about, they would tell you.
It's wonderful. You have not only for
everybody knows
adults,
us.
but you have all these children's selection as well of traditional dress. So how come you have so much Spanish selection here?
Well, there are mainly Spanish customers and the Spanish people who bring in the clothes.
We're very lucky, as I say, there's wonderful.
You know, we do get a lot of foreigners as well.
Are you
people
going to
coming
be
and going,
wearing
but
one of these dresses in the ferias next week?
Well,
I think that sounds like a no. We're going to have to be working on the lovely Eileen. So you have a great selection, I see, for children, toys, everything.
Yes, a little bit of everything. Anything for the house, decoration for the house, lamps, paintings, all types of clothes.
Do you need people to help volunteer here to help you run this store?
We always need volunteers.
So should they just pop in here to you and speak to you?
Yeah, that's the best way. They can see the shop. If they're interested in coming in maybe one morning or one afternoon a week. We don't ask a lot, just
every little bit helps.
Every little bit helps, and
obviously every little bit helps is the philosophy, because I was looking over here and you've got even the matching earrings and everything, like the accessories are just at €1.
Yes.
So the prices are absolutely giveaway prices, and you know that when you buy in one of these shops, you're also helping raise money for those children and their families who need it so much.
Yeah.
Have you worked with Deborah a long time?
Yes, about 7 years, 7.5 years.
Well, you're doing a great job, because more and more people every day know what it's about.
Let's go. I hope that anybody who knows me and sees this will remember the shops here and come on round.
Yeah. Kirsty has been on the programme quite a few times, but there's never going to be enough times to get the information out about the Butterfly Children's Skin Affliction, which you dedicate your days, nights, evenings to help raising awareness and money. Tell us a bit about what Butterfly Children, the skin, what's the problem?
Well, they're born, it's a rare genetic disease. They're born without the gene that binds their skin together. So the slightest touch can cause a blister in their skin. The blister then causes an open wound. And the problem is then trying to treat that open wound. Sometimes they remain infected for days, weeks, months, and sometimes even years if they don't have the right treatment. So what we do at the charity is give the children and their families and the local health professionals in their area enough knowledge and experience to know how to treat the children, so that they have as little suffering and pain as possible, because it is an extremely painful condition for them and a very stressful condition for the children and the families.
It's a very rare condition, and a lot of times even the hospitals don't know what's happening to the child when it's born. You have a special team that travels, informs, take care of the people to help them take the first steps in this plight.
Yeah, we have a team of, at the moment, thanks to all the help we're getting, we now actually have a team of 7 health professionals, 3 nurses, 2 psychologists and 2 social workers. And if a baby is born anywhere in Spain, our team will travel there and teach the family and the local health professionals. Sometimes the doctors don't even know what the condition is, and so we give them our knowledge, our experience, and in some cases, maybe most cases, you can say save the child's life. So yeah, you can say that we're doing a good job, but it's thanks to everybody who supports us that enables us to do that. If it wasn't for the support that we get from everybody from the general public, we wouldn't be able to do what we do.
Well, you're doing a great job in Marbella, and it's nice because we are quite a close-knit community.
Yeah.
The Deborah Spain was started by a family who had a child born with this,
Yes.
and they've then taken the initiative to help as many people as they can.
Yeah, they lived here in Marbella, and their son was born 27 years ago. There was no help, nobody knew anything about the condition, so they travelled to the UK, they learnt about EB, butterfly skin, and how to set up the charity, and 23 years ago the charity was legalised, and here we are, and we've grown from strength to strength and are continuing to grow, again thanks to everybody's support.
Well, that's it for another week. Thank you so much for joining us here at the farm, what used to be the Pozo Viejo. Thank you so much to our hosts Elio and Maria, to our fabulous guests, and to the people who help make Marbella Now possible, and to all of you for watching. If you want information on our town hall, you've got MarbellaExclusive.com website. You've got the Marbella Azul website to let you know everything that's going on on Feria, as we won't be having a show that week. And of course, you've got the Marbella Family Fun for the little ones to make sure they don't get bored. From all of us, thank you very much. Be nice to each other, and let's get these ferias started. Olé!